time for rehearsal.
Yeah, well, if I don't do this, there won't be a thing, and then there won't be a rehearsal.
But they're going to be here any minute, so could you please, pack up, do it some other time?
Like when? Because this has got to be done.
Any time, put down. I have to set the stage for the game of role playing. Right now. Thank you.
I mean, why would I want to be less miserable? Yeah, why would I want to be less miserable? It's just a certain point. It doesn't make any sense. Also, it's close.
Hey, Dan. What do you call a fake noodle?
Well, with my luck, I'm going to have Professor Russell show up tomorrow to tell me that the Pops quiz is on the day where I didn't get nearly enough skill fixes. Yeah.
The whole point of a Pops quiz is it happens when you're not ready for it. So.
Thank you, Tam. I had no idea.
It's just for you, Stanley.
You guys are music.
I've always wanted rock on.
That sounds really odd. Okay, another joke.
What?
What?
Oh, I know. Where do hipsters drown? In the mainstream. Hey guys, the director's here.
Okay, fun's over. Alright, fun's over. Brock, we talked about this. Abby, what's with the lights?
Dan?
Just a second.
Who's missing?
The leading lady.
Of course.
Talk to her about that, would you?
No, I'm here. Don't worry.
Have you actually sworn to keep us waiting?
Well, there was a long line for chicken tenders in the cafeteria. Sorry. But look, you haven't even started yet. Abby, can you take this to the green room, please? Thanks.
Right. Now, the second act of Game of Role Playing. Who's on stage? Katie, you're in the scene.
No, I'm not. No.
Then get off stage. Right. Begin.
Oh.
Okay. In the house of Leon Gala, a strange room combines study and dining room.
Abby, use the red room.
The table is set and the desk has books and papers on it. Shelves with books on them and cupboards with lavish tableware. Door on the rear through which one goes to Leon's bedroom. Side door on the left through which one goes to the kitchen. The main entrance is on the right.
Right. Now. That is the main entrance. That is the way to the kitchen. You come in and out through there. Now, there's a compass in the back and curtains.
Scene 1. Leon Gala, Guido of Nazi, Filippo called Socrates. Am I supposed to read the stage directions too?
Yes, of course.
At the rise of the curtain, Leon Gala, wearing a chef's hat and apron, intent on beating an egg in a saucepan with a wooden spoon. Filippo, also dressed as a cook, is beating another egg. Guido of Nazi, seated, is listening.
Do I seriously have to wear this silly chef's hat?
Yes, it's in the script.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
What do you want me to do?
Get rid of it!
Is it my fault that we can't get good plays anymore? And we're reduced to putting on the works of Pirandello. He's a good writer and all that, but Neither the actors, nor the critics, nor the audience is ever happy with his work. He asked me, he does it on purpose. Yes, now, you are beating eggs. And you think there's nothing more on your hands than beating the eggs. No, sir. You symbolize the shell of the egg. Silence! Let me explain. Now, you symbolize the shell. You're which is the form of reason, which without instinct is blind. You are reason, your wife is instinct in a game of role-play. You play the parts assigned to you, and you are your own puppets of your own free will. Do you understand? No. Nor do I. Just wait and see what I do at the ending. And you would best turn 3/4 front, what with the confusing dialogue and an audience that can't hear. Goodbye, play.
So you just want me to beat eggs?
Yes!
Okay, use your fists.
Yeah, Adam, can I move the podium to the left a little bit? Light's kind of glaring my eyes from here.
Yes, just
Yeah.
pause.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, well, you just.
There's some people here, they want to speak to you, something about I'm sorry.
I told you that no one comes in while I'm rehearsing. Who are they? What do they want?
We are here in search of an author.
An author. What author?
Any author, sir.
There's no author here. This is not a new play.
Well, then, so much the better, sir. We could be your new play.
Did you hear that?
Certainly, but the author's not here. Unless you like to be the author.
Is this your idea of a joke?
Heavens no, sir. On the contrary, we bring you a painful drama.
We could make your fortune for you.
I suggest you leave. This is no place for madmen.
Oh, sir. Surely you know that life is full of infinite absurdities, which, brazenly enough, do not need to appear probable, because they're true.
Very well. What do you want here?
Sir, I'm saying it can actually be considered madness to force oneself to do the opposite. That is, to give probability to things so that they will seem true. But permit me to observe that if this is madness, it is also the raison d'etre of your profession.
Madness! It seems to you an affair for madmen, this profession? My profession?
To make things which are not true appear true? Not for any reason, just for fun? Isn't it your job to give life on stage to creatures of fantasy?
I tell you, sir, the actor's profession is a noble one. Now, if, as it is today, our authors give us nothing but stupid plays with puppets in them instead of men, then it is our boast to put forth on these very boards immortal works of art.
Exactly. You have created living beings, more alive than those that breathe and wear clothes. Less real, perhaps, but more true. We agree completely.
But you were saying just now.
No, don't misunderstand. You shouted that you hadn't time to waste on madmen, so I wanted to show you that no one knows better than you that nature employs the human imagination to carry her work of creation onto a higher plane.
Very well. What is it? What do you need?
Nothing, sir. Just wanted to tell you that one may be born to this life in many modes, in many forms. as a rock, as a tree, as a butterfly is water, as a woman. And that characters are born too.
Ah. And you and these companions of yours were born as characters.
Right. And alive, as you see. I am sorry to hear you laugh. Because I repeat, we carry within us a most painful drama, as you all might have deduced from the sight of that lady there veiled in black.
Silence! Get out of here! Get them out of here!
Come on, guys, fun's over.
No, look.
Let's go.
Look, Wilk, I tell you, we've got to work!
Yeah, it's not right to fool around like this.
I am amazed at your incredulity. You're accustomed, are you not, to seeing the created characters of an author spring to life here on this very stage, the one confronting the other? But the problem that there's no script there with us in it.
Believe me, sir, we really are 6 very interesting characters, but lost adrift.
Very well, lost adrift. In the sense, that is, sir, that the author who created us, who made us live, did not wish or simply and materially was not able to place us in the world of art. And that was a real crime, sir. Because whoever has the luck to be born a living character can also laugh at death. He will never die. The author will die, the instrument of his creation. The creature will never die. To have eternal life, it doesn't even require extraordinary gifts. Who was Sancho Panza? Who was Don Quixote? Yet they lived forever because, as live germs, they had the luck to find a fertile matrix, an imagination which knew how to nurture and raise them, to make them live through all eternity.
It's all very well, but what do you want here?
We want to live, sir.
Through all eternity?
No. But for a moment in you. Now look, the play is still in the making, but if you wish, and if your actors wish, we can make it right away, acting in concert.
We don't do concerts here. We do comedies.
Tragedies, drama.
Very good. That's why we came here.
So where's the script then?
Inside us. The drama is inside us. It is us. And we are impatient to perform it according to the dictates of the passion within us.
My passion. If only you knew, sir. My passion for him.
You keep out of this, and please don't laugh like that.
Silence! What do you think this is? Is she crazy?
Crazy? Of course not. It's much worse than that.
Oh, worse. Worse, not crazy, but worse. Listen, I'll play it for you right now, this little drama. And at a certain point, you'll see me. When this little darling when God suddenly takes this little sweetheart away from her mother, and that idiot does the stupidest of things like the nitwit that he is, well then you will see me take to my heels. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, take to my heels. wait for that moment. For after what's happened between him and me, something very intimate, you understand. I can't stay here any longer. Witnessing the anguish of our mother on account of that fool there. Just look at him. See how frozen, how indifferent he is. Because he is the legitimate son. Full of contempt. That's what he is. For me, for those two, because we three are bastards. Do you hear me? Bastards. And this poor mother, the common mother of us all, well, he looks down on her, that's what he does. Looks down on her as only the mother of us three bastards. The wretch.
In the name of these two small children, sir, I implore you.
A chair! A chair for this poor widow! A chair! Look at her. Look at her.
Heavens, no! Stop this!
Let them see you.
Oh, sir, please. Stop this man from carrying out his plan. It's horrible for me.
I don't know where we're at. Is she your wife?
Yes, sir. My wife.
Then how is she a widow if you're alive?
Don't laugh. Don't laugh like that, please. Just that is her drama. She had another man who should be here.
No. No.
He had the good luck to die 2 months ago. And we are still in mourning, as you see.
But he's absent. He's absent, you see, not just because he's dead. Take a look at her, sir, and you'll understand at once. Her drama was not in the love of two men for whom she was incapable of feeling anything, except maybe a little gratitude. Not to me, sir, but to him.
She is not a woman. She is a mother. And you will find that her drama, a very powerful drama, sir, very powerful, is in fact all in those 4 children which she bore to her 2 men.
My men. Have you the gall to say I wanted 2 men? It was him, sir. He forced the other man on me. Compelled me to go off with him.
It's not true.
How do you mean not true?
It's not true. It's not true.
What can you know about it?
It's not true. Know why she says it? For his sake. His indifference tortures her. She wants him to believe that if she abandoned him when he was 2, it was because he compelled her to.
He did compel me. He did compel me. As God is my witness. Ask him if that isn't true. Make him tell me. She couldn't know anything about it.
While my father was alive, I know that you were always happy and content. Deny it if you can.
Don't deny it. Don't.
He loved you. He cared for you. Isn't that right? Well, say so. Why don't you speak? You don't.
Leave the poor boy alone. Why do you want to make me out ungrateful, daughter? I have no wish to offend your father. I told him I didn't abandon my son in my home for my own pleasure. It wasn't my fault.
That's true, sir. It was mine.
What a show! What a drama! No, silence, silence! Let's listen.
Oh, yes. You can now listen to the philosophy lecture. He will tell you about the demon of experiment.
You are a cynical idiot, as I've told you 100 times.
He mocks me, sir, on account of that phrase that I found to excuse myself with.
Phrases.
Phrases. His phrases, as if they were not a comfort to everyone. In the face of some unexplained fact, in the face of an evil that eats down into us, to find a word that says nothing. least quiets us down.
Quiets our guilt feelings, too.
Guilt feelings? Not so.
I never quieted my guilt feelings with words alone.
Oh, certainly. It took a little money, too, didn't it? Took a little dough. The 100 lira he was going to pay me, ladies and gentlemen.
That is filthy.
Filthy. The dough was there, in a small, pale blue envelope, on the mahogany table in the back room of the shop. Madame Pache's shop. One of those madams who lure us poor girls from good families into their ateliers under the pretext of selling robe morceau.
And with those 100 lira he was going to pay, she has bought the right to tyrannize over us all. Only it just so happens, I'll have you know, he never actually incurred the debt.
Oh, but we really were going to do it, I assure you.
Shame, daughter. Shame.
Shame? It's my revenge. I am frantic, sir. Frantic to live this scene. The room. There's the shop window with the coats. And over there a bed sofa, and a mirror, and a screen. And over there, a little mahogany table with a pale blue envelope. I could see it. I could take it. But you men should turn away. I'm almost naked and I don't blush anymore. It's he that blushes now. But I assure you, he was pale, very pale at that moment. You must believe me.
You're making too long a story.
The story is right.
Never mind, sir.
Fiction, literature.
Never mind, sir. Never mind, sir. Restore a little order and let me speak. Never mind this ferocious girl. She's trying to heap opprobrium on me by withholding the relevant explanation.
Let me explain.
This is no place for long-winded narratives.
I said explanations.
Oh yes, those that suit your turn.
Therein lies the whole root of the evil. Words. Each of us has inside him, sir, a whole world of things. To each man, his world of things. How can we understand each other? If in the words I speak, I put the sense and value of things as they are inside me. Whereas the man who hears them inevitably receives them with the sense and in the value that they have for him, according to the world inside him.
We think we understand each other. And we never do. Consider the compassion, all the compassion that I feel for this woman. It's received by her as the most ferocious of cruelties.
You ran me out of the house.
You hear that? It seemed to her that I ran her out of the house.
You can talk. I can't. But look, sir, after he married me, and who knows why he did, I was poor, of humble birth.
And that's why I married you, for your humility. I loved you for it, believing. You see that? She says no. Scarifying, isn't it? This deafness of hers. This mental deafness. Yes, she has a heart where children are concerned. But she's deaf, sir. Deaf in the brain. Deaf to the point of desperation.
All right, but now make him tell you what his intelligence has ever done for us.
If only we could foresee all the evil that can result from the good we believe we're doing.
Excuse me, but is rehearsal continuing?
Yes, of course. Just let me listen a moment. This is something quite new. I don't like it.
It's very interesting. Sure, if that sort of thing interests you.
But you must give us clear explanations.
Right. Yes. Listen, there was a man working for me. Very poor man, as my secretary. Very devoted to me. He understood her very well. There was a mutual understanding between them. Nothing wrong in it, nothing off color about it, no. He knew his place, as she did. They didn't do anything wrong, didn't even think it.
So he thought it for them, and did it.
It's not true. I wanted to do them some good. And myself, too. I admit it.
It had gotten to this point, sir. I couldn't say a word to either of them, but then they would exchange a significant look. The one would consult the eyes of the other, asking how what I had said should be taken if they didn't want to put me in a rage. That sufficed, you'll understand, sir, to keep me continually in a rage, in a state of
unbearable exasperation.
Excuse me, but why didn't you fire them?
Good question. That's just what I did do. Then I had to see that poor woman remain in my house a lost soul, like an animal without a master that one takes pity on and carries home.
No.
It's your son, right?
He already snatched my son from me.
Not from cruelty. Just so he'd grow up strong and healthy, in touch with the soil.
And just look at him.
Is it my fault if he grew up this way? I sent him to a wet nurse, sir, in the country, a peasant woman. I didn't find her strong enough, despite her humble origins. I married her for similar reasons, as I already said. All nonsense, maybe. There we are. I always had these confounded aspirations toward a certain solidity, toward what was morally sound. Stop that, it's unbearable.
Stop! Stop, I can't hear!
I couldn't bear to live with that woman anymore. Not so much, believe me, sir, because she irritated me and even made me feel physically ill, as because of the pain, a veritable anguish that I felt on her behalf.
And he sent me away.
Well provided for? And to that man. Yes, sir, so she could be free of me.
And so he could be free.
That too. I admit it. And much evil has resulted. But I intended good. And more for her than for me, I swear it. I never lost sight of you, never lost sight of you till one day to the next he carried you off to another town. He noticed that I was interested in her, but that was silly. My interest in her was absolutely pure, absolutely without ulterior motive. The interest I took in her new family as it grew up, sir, had an unbelievable tenderness to it. Even she should bear witness to that.
Oh, very much so. I was a little sweetie. Pigtails coming down over my shoulder. A little sweetie. You would see me coming out of school at the gate, and you would see me as I grew up.
This is outrageous. Outrageous. You're betraying me.
I am not. What do you mean?
This is outrageous. My house, sir, when she had left it and once seemed empty, she was an incubus. But she filled my house for me. Left alone, I wandered through these rooms like a fly without a head. That fellow there was raised away from home. And somehow when he got back, he didn't seem mine anymore. Without his mother, between him and me, he grew up on his own, apart, without any relationship to me, emotional or intellectual. And so, sir, strange, but true. First I grew curious. And then I was gradually attracted toward this family, which I had brought into being. The thought of her family began to fill the void which had grown up around me. I really had to believe that she was at peace, absorbed in the simplest cares of life.
Lucky to be away and far removed from the complicated torments of my spirit. And to have proof of this, I would go to see that little girl at the gate.
Correct. He followed me home. And he smiled at me, and he waved at me like this. I opened my eyes wide and looked at him suspiciously. I didn't know who he was. I told Mother, and she guessed right away it was him. At first she wouldn't let me go back to school for several days. And when I did go, there he was, at the gate. The clown, with a big paper bag in his hands. And he took from the bag a lovely Florentine hat with a little ring of May roses around it. For me.
Oh, look, you're making too long a story of this.
Story is right.
Fiction. Literature. Literature?
Sir, this is life. Passion. Maybe, but it is not actable.
I agree.
All this is preliminary. I wouldn't want you to act it. As you see, she's no longer a little girl in pigtails. The drama comes now, sir. Novel, complex.
What my father's death meant for us was
Poverty, sir. They return unbeknownst to me. She's so thick-headed.
It's true she can hardly write herself, but she could have had her daughter write or her son telling me they were in need.
Sir, how could I have guessed he felt the way he did?
Which is just where you always went wrong. You never could guess how I felt about anything.
After so many years of separation, with all that had happened.
Is it my fault if that fellow carries you off as he did?
From one day to the next, as I say, sir. Found some job someplace. Couldn't even trace them. Necessarily then, my interest dwindled with the years. The drama breaks out, sir, upon their return. When I, alas, was impelled by the misery of my still living flesh. Oh, and what misery it is for a man who is not wanted to form debasing relationships. No, not yet old enough to do without a woman, no longer young enough to go and look for one without shame. Misery, sir? It's horror. Horror. Because no woman can give him love anymore. Knowing this, one should go without.
Of course, on the outside, when other people are watching, each man is clothed in dignity. He knows inside what unconfessable things are going on within. One gives way to temptation. To rise again, of course, immediately afterward, in a great hurry to put our dignity back together again, solid, complete, a stone on a grave that hides from our eyes every sign of our shame and even the very memory of it. It's like that with everybody, sir. Only the courage to say it is lacking. The courage to say. Certain things.
The courage to do them, though. Everybody's got that.
Everybody. But in secret. That's why it takes more courage to say them. A man has only to say them and it's all over. He's labeled a cynic.
So he isn't. He isn't. He's just like everybody else. Better. He's better because he is not afraid to reveal by the light of intelligence the red stain of shame there in the human beast which closes its eyes to it.
Woman. Yes, woman. What is she like, actually? She looks at you, inviting, tantalizing. You take hold of her. She's no sooner in your arms than she shuts her eyes. It is the sign of her submission. The sign with which she tells the man, blind yourself, for I am blind.
How about when she no longer keeps them shut? When she no longer feels the need to hide the red stain of shame from herself, and instead, her eyes dry now and impassive, sees the shame of a man who has blinded himself even without love. They make me vomit. All these intellectual elaborations that begin by revealing the beast, and then going on to excuse it and save its soul. I can't bear to hear about it. Because when a man feels obliged to reduce life this way, to reduce it all to the beast, throwing overboard every vestige of the truly human, every aspiration after chastity, all feelings of purity, of ideal, of modesty, of shame, then nothing is more contemptible, more nauseating than his wretched guilt feelings. Crocodile tears.
Look, enough with the discussions. Give us facts.
Very well, but a fact is like a sack. When it's empty, it won't stand up. To make it stand up, you must first pour into it all the reasons and feelings by which it exists. How could I have known, sir, that when she returned in poverty, that she went out to work as a dressmaker to support the children, and that the woman she went to work for was that Madame Pache?
A high-class dressmaker, if you'd like to know. To all appearances, she serves fine ladies, but then she arranges things so that the fine ladies serve her, without prejudice to ladies not so fine.
Believe me, sir, I never had the slightest suspicion that old witch hired me because she had her eye on my daughter.
Poor Mama. Do you know what she would do when I brought her my mother's work? She would point out to me where she had ruined the material by giving it to my mother to sew. And then she deducted for that. She deducted. And so you understand, I paid. And she all the while thinking she was making sacrifices for me and those two, sewing even by night Madame Pache's material.
And then one day you met...
Him, yes, him, an old client. There's a scene for you to put on. Superb.
Interrupted by her, the mother.
Almost in time.
No, in time. Because luckily I recognized the girl in time, and I took them all back, sir, into my home. Now try to visualize my situation and hers, the one confronting the other. She as you see her now, and myself unable to look her in the face anymore.
It's too absurd. But afterwards, could you expect me to be a modest little miss, virtuous and well-bred, with all those aspirations towards certain solidity, towards what is morally sound?
And therein lies the drama, as far as I am concerned, sir.
In my awareness that each of us thinks of himself as one. It's not true. Each of us is many, oh, so many, according to the possibilities of being that are within us. We're one thing for this person, we're quite another for that.
Already two utterly different things. And with it all, the illusion of being one thing for all men, and always that one thing in every single one of our actions. It's not true. Not true. We realize as much when, by some unfortunate chance, in one or another of our acts, we find ourselves hooked, suspended. We see, that we were not wholly in that act, and that therefore it would be abominably unjust to judge us by that act alone,
to hold us in the pillory our whole life long, as if our whole life were summed up in that act.
Now, do you begin to understand this girl's treachery towards me? She surprised me in a place, in an act, where she should never have had to know me. I could not be that way for her. And now she wants to give me a reality such as I could never have expected I would have to assume for her. The reality of a fleeting moment, a shameful one in my life. This, sir, is what I feel most strongly. You will find that the drama will derive tremendous benefit from this. But now, consider the situation of the others. His.
Leave me out of it. It's none of my business.
What? None of your business?
None. And I want to be left out of it. I was never made to be one of you, and you know it!
Oh, we're common, aren't we? And he's so refined. But sometimes I give him a hard, contemptuous look, and he looks down at the ground. You may have noticed that. He looks down at the ground, for he knows the wrong he's done me.
Me?
You. I'm under strike because of you. Did you, or did you not, by your attitude, deny us, I won't say the intimacy of home, but the hospitality which puts guests at their ease? We were the intruders, coming to invade the kingdom of your legitimacy. I'd like to have you see, sir, certain scenes between him and me. He says I tyrannized over all of them. But it was only because of him that I began to exploit the situation that he calls filthy. A situation which had brought me into his home with my mother, who is also his mother, as its mistress.
They can't lose, sir. 3 against 1. That's an easy game. But figure to yourself a son, sitting quietly at home, who one fine day sees a young woman arrive, an impudent type with her nose in the air, asking for his father, with whom she has heaven knows what business. And then he sees her return, accompanied by that little girl over there. And finally, he sees her treat his father, who can say why, in a very cool and ambiguous tone, demanding money, that takes for granted that he has to give it, is obligated!
But I am obligated. It's for your mother. How would I know? When, sir, have I ever seen her? When have I ever heard her spoken of?
I see her arrive with that boy and with that little girl. They say to me, "It's your mother too, know that?" I managed to figure out from her carryings on from one day to the next why they arrive at our home.
What I'm feeling and experiencing, I can't put into words. And I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to confess it, even to myself. It cannot therefore result in any action on my part. You can understand that. Believe me, sir, I'm a character that, dramatically speaking, remains unrealized. I'm out of place in their company, so leave me out of it all.
It's just because you're so. I'm so what? How would you know? When did you ever care about me? Touché. Touché.
But isn't even that a dramatic situation? This withdrawnness of yours, so cruel to me, and to your mother, who on returning home, seeing you almost for the first time, a grown man she doesn't recognize. Look at her. She's crying.
Like the fool she is.
She can't abide him, you know. He says it's none of his business. In truth, sir,
He's almost the pivot of the entire action. You see that little boy there? Scared, humiliated, clinging to his mother all the time? It's all because of him. Perhaps the saddest situation of all is that little boy's.
He feels alien more than the others. And the poor little thing is so anguished, so mortified at being taken into our home out of charity, as it were. He's just like his father. Humble, doesn't say anything.
That doesn't matter, you know. You have no idea the nuisance the children are on stage.
No, sir. But he won't be a nuisance for long. Nor will the little girl. She's the first to go.
I'm tempted. Tempted. I have a hunch that there is material here for a fine play.
With a character like me in
You
it.
keep out of this.
It's new stuff.
Very new.
You had some gall to come and throw it in my face this way.
No, sir. Born as we are to the stage, how else?
Amateurs. You're amateurs.
No, sir. I say born to the stage because...
But you have done some acting.
No, sir. Only as every man plays the part assigned to him in life by himself or others. In me, you see passion itself, which in almost all people, as it rises, inevitably becomes a bit theatrical.
Never mind. But without an author, I could direct you to an author.
No, look, you be the author. Yes, you. Why not you?
Because I've never been an author.
Couldn't you be one now? Everybody's doing it. There's nothing to it. And your job is made all the easier by the fact that you have us here, alive in front of your nose.
It would not be enough.
Not enough. To see us live our own drama.
Yes, but somebody has to write it.
No. Someone to take it down, maybe. Since you have us here in action, alive, scene by scene, it'll be enough if we can piece together a rough sketch. Then you can rehearse it.
I'm tempted. Tempted. We can rehearse. No, just for kicks.
Of course you could. What scenes you'll see emerge, I can list them for you right away.
No, come to my office. I think we need something very extraordinary out of this. Everyone else, don't leave. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. Come.
Wouldn't it be best if we take them along?
Yes, of course. Everyone else, 15 minutes.
Is he serious? Well, what does he expect us to do?
He thinks that I'm wiggling myself to that sort of thing.
This is outright insanity. He expects us to improvise an entire play right off the bat. It's like comédie dell'arte.
It's absolutely out of this world. And if this is what theater is coming to, my friend, then I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. These are real, better than what we had. Well, anything's better than what we had.
Almost anything.
But this is
Almost anything better than Pirandello.
But it's a real story, though. Like, no, it's not a real story, though. That's the thing. Well, actors, it's fake. Okay. All right.
No, but what they are is they're crazy.
That's true.
No. Crazy people wouldn't be able to string on long monologues like that. You haven't
Hey, pizza for the cast!
Oh, what kind of pizza?
Hey, you got pepperoni?
I call it Joey.
They're not going to get a sandwich.
Yes, shut up.
We'll all divide time for them to figure out more madness to replace the madness we were already doing.
I want to know who they really are.
Almost anything.
They're crazy is what they really are.
They need to go.
All right, let's begin. Trent.
Yes.
I need a partner. Give me 2 wings and the backdrop of the door on it.
What we got?
Do we have some sort of sofa?
Yeah.
The yellow one, yeah.
No, not yellow. It's gotta be green. With flowers on it? Big and comfortable.
That's the one we have.
Doesn't matter, bring it on.
Doesn't matter. Madame Pache's chaise longue?
This is just rehearsal. Don't meddle. Now, do we have some sort of display case, long and narrow?
And a mahogany table?
It's not mahogany.
A large mirror.
No.
A screen? A screener, what'll I do?
Yeah, we have lots of screens. Just do that. Stick that up.
Yeah.
Do we have a coat rack? Bring it on. Now, you. Here's a list of the scenes in order. You'll have to be a bit of a virtuoso today.
Shorthand?
You know shorthand.
I might not know prompting, but shorthand. Hey Trent. Do you remember if I and grab some papers? What you can find? Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Now, follow the action line by line and try to pin down the important speeches, or at least the important lines.
Okay.
Let's see. Clear the stage. Come over here, focus, come on.
What do you want us to do?
Watch. Listen. You'll get written parts later. We'll rehearse as we can with them rehearsing for us.
Wait. We're rehearsing? How do you mean?
Yes. No, you rehearse for them.
But if we're the characters.
This is the stage. Characters don't act on stage. Actors perform on stage. Characters are in the script, and there is no script.
Exactly. But since there isn't, and since you, ladies and gentlemen, have the luck to have them here alive in front of you, those characters.
You want to perform it yourself. Just go out in front of the audience and do it yourselves.
Right. Just as we are.
And I'm sure you'll put on a splendid show.
If they're going to do it, can I leave? Can I go?
Don't run away with the idea that you can act. It's laughable. Laugh. Oh, I must cast the play. Well, it basically casts itself. Gabriella, you will be playing the mother. You'll have to find her name.
Gabriella, sir.
No, sir. That is this lady's real name. We can't be using her real name.
Why not, if that is her name? But, of course, if it's to be this lady, but to me she is Gabriella. But, suit yourself. I don't know what to tell you. I find my own words ringing false. They sound different somehow.
Just don't fret over it. We'll find the right sound. For now, if Gabriella you say it is, then Gabriella it shall be. Until we find something better. Now, Brock, you shall play the son, and Katie, of course, you'll be playing the stepdaughter.
What? That one's me?
Now, what is that to laugh at?
Oh, forgive me, I'm not laughing at you. I don't know, I just don't see me in you. You're just not very much like me.
That's it, exactly. So what is expressed in us?
Expressions. Not at all, sir.
Very well. What we express.
No. You express nothing. You provide us with raw materials. The actors give it face and voice, body and gesture. They have given life on this stage to much loftier materials, sir. And if your drama, such as it is, does belong on stage, the credit will go all to my actors.
Here, here.
I don't dare contradict you, sir. But it is terribly painful for us who are as you see us with these bodies, these faces.
Makeup, sir. For matters of the face, the answer is makeup.
But the voice, the gesture.
You can't exist here.
I understand, sir. I understand. But perhaps now I begin to guess why our author, who saw us alive as we are, did not wish to put us on stage. I don't want to offend your actors, God forbid. But I feel that to see myself acted, I don't know by whom.
By me, if of course you have no objection.
I'm very honored, sir.
Really?
But however much art and willpower the gentleman puts into absorbing me into himself.
Go on, finish.
The performance that he'll give, even forcing himself with makeup to resemble me. Well, with that figure, he can hardly. I shall rather be as he interprets me to be, as he feels that I am, if he feels that I'm anything, and not as I feel myself inside myself. And it seems to me that whoever's called upon to judge us should take this into account.
Fantastic. Now you're thinking of what the critics will say. I was still listening to them. Focus on putting on the play. Let the critics say what they will. Now, is the set ready?
Yeah.
All right. Does it look pretty good to you?
I can't recognize it.
What do you want me to do? Reconstruct Madame Pachet's back room for you? You said it was a parlor with flowered wallpaper.
Yes, sir, white.
It's not white. Stripes. Well, now, for furniture, we're pretty good. And bring the table forward a little bit. And, Trent, see if you can get us an envelope. Perhaps a light blue one.
A letter envelope?
Yes, a letter envelope. All right. Now, the first scene, the young lady's scene with Madame Pachet. Wait. Oh, now where is Madame Pachet?
She's not with us, sir.
Not with you.
But she's alive. She's alive too.
What? But where?
I'll tell you. You would do me the favor of letting me rearrange these hats. And if I could get some of you to loan me your coats. Just for a minute. Just for a minute. Do me this favor, will you please? Thank you.
What are you doing with the coats? Are you putting them on display?
Yes, sir. Exactly, sir. On display. Because, excuse me. Thank you, ma'am. Who knows if we set the stage better, she might come to us drawn by the objects of her trade.
Look. Look.
What?
Guys,
She's here.
Look, what did I tell you? It is she. What madness is this?
Where did she come from? Doesn't make any sense.
Excuse me, though. Why, actually, would you want to destroy this prodigy in the name of vulgar truth? This miracle of a reality, born of the stage itself, called into being by the stage, shaped by the stage, drawn here by the stage, and which has, moreover, more of a right to live on the stage than you have, because it is much truer. Which of your actresses will later recreate the Madame Pache? This lady is Madame Pache. You must admit that whatever actress recreates her will be less true than this lady, who is Madame Pache. Look, my daughter recognized her at once and ran over to her. Stand and watch the scene.
I can't hear anything.
What's going on?
Louder. I can't hear.
Louder.
No.
Well,
How do you mean louder? These aren't things that can be said louder. I was able to say them loudly, to shame him. For Madame, it's different. It would mean jail.
it's like that, is it?
My dear young lady, this is a stage. And on the stage, one must be heard. If I can't hear you out front, then how will an audience hear? Now, act as if you are by yourselves. We won't be here. You are in a room, just the two of you, the back room of Madame Pache's shop. And why not?
Somebody will hear if Madame speaks loudly.
Is someone else going to pop in now?
No. She means me. I'm to be there, behind the door, and Madame knows. So if you'll excuse me, I must be ready for my entrance.
No. Wait.
We have to respect the exigencies of the theater.
Oh, come on, why are we continuing? I am dying with desire to live this scene. If he's ready, I am more than ready.
Patience, patience. We have to get the scene from you and her first.
She's telling me things you already know. That my mother's work has been badly done again, and I'm going to have to bear with her if I want her to continue helping us in our misery.
Sí, señor, porque yo no want fraude.
What? She talks like that?
Yes, she talks like that, halfway between Spanish and English.
That is not very nice when you be speaking at me. Yo hablo inglés as good I can, señor.
Wait, no. No, it is good.
Oh, thank
No,
you.
it's a surefire effect. It will help soften the crudity of what must be said.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Oh, fine, huh? Surefire, is it? To have propositions put to you in a lingo like that? Because it seems almost like a joke. When I hear there's an old señor who wants to have a good time conmigo, I start to laugh. Don't I, Madame?
Viejo old, no. Viejito, a little bit old. Witch! Madam!
Calm down. This is why she wasn't with us when you came. They're being together with toilets.
A preliminary sketch.
It's not possible that my mother should be here.
It's just a preliminary sketch. No matter how twisted the parts will work them together in the end.
No, I'm not going to do nada with your mother. She's fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Oh, come on now. Bring in that old señor who wants to have a good time conmigo.
No, I'm not going to help you.
Oh, come on, we've got to have this scene. You may go.
Así I go. Seguramente. Adiós. with my head bowed, modest. Well, let's go. Speak up. Say something like someone just in off the street. Hello, miss.
Are you finished? Now, are you directing this or am I? Now, yes, do that. Go to the stage and then come forward. And Tim, be ready to write.
Hello, miss.
Hello.
Oh. Well, I was thinking, it wouldn't be the first time, would it? The first time you came here? You've been here other times. More than one? Well then, it shouldn't any longer be so. May I take this hat off for you?
No, I will take it off, sir. Oh, God! My God!
There you go. I'll take that and hang it up for you, though. Could wish for a little hat worthier of such a dear little head. Would you like to help me choose one from the mini Madame house?
But those are our hats.
Silence, please. Begin again.
No, thank you, sir.
Come on. Don't say no. Accept one from me. To please me, and we make Madame happy. Why else does she put them on display?
No, sir. You don't understand. I wouldn't even be able to wear it.
I mean, because of what they would think at home if they saw you come back with a new hat on? You know how to handle that? Do you know how to tell the family at home?
No, that's not why. Surely you might have noticed that I am as you see me.
Oh. Good morning. Yes. It's true. I do see it. I beg your pardon. I'm absolutely mortified.
Enough. It's for me to thank you and not for you to apologize. Forget I said anything. Even I need to forget that I am dressed like this.
No, wait. Wait. Leave that last sentence out. No, it's going very well. This is where we go to the part that you and I discussed. Enchanting, that little hat scene, wasn't it?
Well, come on, why aren't we going on? Truly, the best part is just coming.
Patience. Patience.
Scenes like this sometimes need a little bit of delicate handling.
Obviously. But we can start rehearsing right away.
I've no objection to long instructions.
Yes, you'll be given a written part later. Just begin from the entrance.
All right, I'll make my entrance.
Yeah.
I'll go get my hat.
All right.
She's not even wearing black. I shall wear black. And I'll carry it better than you.
Silence, please. You might learn something. And now, begin.
Hello, miss.
No! No!
Please, stop. We can't go on with you acting this way.
How can I help it? This lady just stands there. I mean, if she's supposed to play me, let me tell you that if anyone had addressed me with a hello in that manner and that tone, I'd have burst out laughing just as I actually did.
It's the manner, the tone.
Manner, tone. Let us rehearse.
Thank you.
Begin again.
If I'm playing a man, part of a man entering, a house of ill-gotten gains and
Let's
vile
just start again.
Start again.
Is it going fine?
Okay. Hello, miss.
Hello, miss.
Hello.
Hello.
I was thinking it wouldn't be the first time, I hope.
What? No, not I hope. Would it?
Does
Would
it matter?
it?
Does it matter? He says, would it? A question.
I did hear, I hope.
Would it? I hope. It doesn't matter. Now, here, now, watch me. Hello, miss.
Hello.
Now, I was thinking, fear, surprise, complacence. Clear? Yeah. Now you say?
Hello.
No, sir.
Oh, no, sir.
Put it. Plasticity. It wouldn't be the first time, would it? And again.
From that line?
Yeah, from that line.
You came here other times?
You came here other times?
More than one?
More than one?
Wait! You must wait for her to nod. You came here other times. No! No!
I will not be made fun of by this person!
Neither will I. Let's just stop. Come back to settle later.
Stop laughing! You have no manners. You're impudent.
Yes, sir. It's true, sir, but forgive.
Forgive nothing. This is disgusting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it has such a strange effect.
Strange. What's strange about it?
I admire your actors. Really, I do, both of them very much. This gentleman here and that lady there. But, sir, assuredly, they're not us.
Of course they're not you. They're the actors.
Yes, the actors, and they play our parts very well, both of them. But of course, to us they seem something different, something that tries to be the same, but simply isn't.
What do you mean, isn't? What is it then?
It's something that becomes theirs and stops being ours.
Necessarily. I explained that.
And I understand. I do understand.
No! That is enough! Rehearsing with authors present has always been hell, in my experience. We will rehearse on our own.
Thank you.
And please don't laugh this time.
My big moment's coming up. Don't worry. I won't be laughing this time.
We were discussing, sir. This is where I will cut in and ask her what we prepared.
Ask me what?
Why she is in mourning?
No. You don't understand, sir. When I told him that I was in mourning, do you know what he said? Oh, well then, let's take that little dress right off, shall we?
Fantastic! It'll knock them out of their seats.
But it's the truth.
It may be the truth, but dear, this is the theater. Our motto is the truth, to a certain point.
Well then, what would you propose?
Did I just leave it all to you? You make all the decisions? Certainly not. From my nausea? From all the reasons, one more cruel than the other, why I am what I am? You'd like to cook up some sentimental, romantic concoction, wouldn't you? He asks me why I'm in mourning, and I tell him through my tears that Papa died 2 months ago.
No, my dear sir. He has to say what he did say. Then let's take that little dress right off, shall we? And I, with my 2 months mourning in my heart, I went back there. And I took off my dress. And I took off my corset with my fingers trembling with shame. And
My God,
loathing.
what are you saying?
The truth, sir!
It may be the truth, but none of it is performable.
Oh, not performable. Fine, thanks. And I am leaving.
No, wait, where are you going?
No, I'm leaving. I am leaving. You two went back there and decided what's performable. Oh, I see it all very well. No. He wants to skip to the part where he can act out his spiritual travail. But I want to play my drama. Mine!
My dear, this is not your drama. What about the drama of the others? His, hers. We can't have one character just coming down, hogging the limelight and overshadowing all the others. Everything must be put within the frame of the harmonious picture. We can only perform what is performable. Now, I know as well as you do that we all have a whole life inside of ourselves and would like to see it out, but the key is to bring out only what is necessary in relation to the others and imply the rest. Hint at what is beneath. Now, it would be nice if every character could walk down to the limelight and tell us what is inside in a monologue or a lecture. But, my dear, you must contain yourself. No, it will be in your best interest. It could leave a bad impression, this tearing fury, this desperate disgust. You admitted to being at Madame Pachet's more than once with others.
It's true. I admit it. But to me, the others are all him. Equally.
The others? How do you mean?
People go wrong. And wrong follows on the heels of wrong. And who's to blame is not the one who first sent them wrong. And for me, that is him. Look at him and see if it's so.
He has so much to feel guilty about. At least let him act it out.
And how is he supposed to act out all of that noble guilt when you propose to spare him the horror of one day finding in his arms, after having made her take off the black clothes that marked her recent loss, a woman now, and already gone wrong? That little girl, sir. That little girl whom you used to watch coming out of school. We're just among ourselves now. And tomorrow, you will make of us the show you like. And you will do it in your way. But would you like to see our drama? The real thing? Have it explode?
Yes. Of course. There's nothing I would like better. I will use as much of it as I can.
Very well. Have this mother here go out. No! No! Don't allow this! Don't allow
I only want to take a look at him.
I can't! I just can't!
But it's already happened. I don't understand.
No. It's happening now. It's always happening. My torment is not a pretense. I am alive and present, always, in every moment of my torment. renewing itself. It too is alive and always present. But those two little ones over there, have you heard them speak? They cannot speak, sir. Not anymore. They still keep clinging to me to keep the torment alive and present. But for themselves, they don't exist. Don't exist anymore. And she just fled, ran away from me. She's lost. Lost. If I see her before me now, it's for the same reason. To renew the torment. Keep it always alive and present forever. The torment I've suffered on her account, too. Forever.
The eternal moment. As I told you so. She is here to catch me, to fix me, to hold me there in the pillory, hanging hooked in a single, shameful, fleeting moment of my life. She cannot give it up. And actually, sir, you can't spare me.
But I didn't say I wouldn't use it. No, it'll be the nucleus of the whole first act. To the point that she surprises you.
Exactly. Because that is the sentence passed upon me, all of our passion, which has to culminate in her final cry.
It still rings in my ears. It has driven me out of my mind, that cry.
You can present me as you wish, sir. Even dressed. Just so long as my arms are there. Because it was like this. I was standing here with my arms around his neck when I saw, throbbing in my right arm, a vein. And as if it was just this single living vein that disgusted me, I jammed my eyes shut. Do you see? And I buried my head in his chest.
Scream, Mama! Scream as you screamed then!
No! No! My daughter! My daughter! Brute! It's my daughter! Don't you see? My daughter!
Fine! Splendid! And now, lights and curtain.
Yes, sir, because that's how it actually happened.
Yes, of course. Lights! Lights! Idiot! I say turn out the lights because that's how the act is supposed to end, and he turns out the actual lights!
Hang on.
Fine. Absolutely sure. Has to end that way. Has to. Now, get it off. Everything. Take it off. A bench.
You got that bench?
Where?
It's in there.
And a fountain.
Fountain. A fountain. Do we have a fountain?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Don't really know what you'll find in that shed.
Just very well. Very well. Now, perfect. Hit the podium.
Yeah.
Move it off. Move it off. Now, the beginning of the second act.
Our entrance into his house in spite of that son.
Yes, yes, of course. Just leave it to me, as we said before, and it will be fine.
In spite of him. Just let that be clear.
It's come out.
Doesn't matter. The more damage to us, the more guilt feelings for him.
I understand. Just leave it to me. Just rest assured.
To make them understand, I beg you, sir, for my conscience' sake, I've tried in every possible way
To placate me. To advise me not to give him trouble. I should just do what she wants. Do it because it's true. I enjoy the whole thing very much. Because the more he plays the suppliant, the more she tries to gain entrance into his heart, the more he stands aloof. He's an absentee. How I relish this.
Do we actually want to get going on the second act?
I won't say another word. But to play it all in the garden as you want won't be possible.
And why not?
Because he stays shut up in his room the whole time, on his own. And then again we need the house for that poor bewildered little boy.
We can't change the scenery in front of the audience 3 or 4 times. Nor can we put up signs.
We used to at one time.
Yes, when the audience was about as mature as that little girl.
You got the illusion much more easily then.
Don't use that word! Don't say illusion! It's especially cruel to us.
And why? May I ask?
It's cruel. Cruel. You should understand that.
My dear sir, it is our profession to put forth on these boards the illusion of reality.
I understand, sir. But perhaps you do not understand us. Because you see, for you and for your actors, all this, quite rightly, is a game.
Game, sir? We're not children. We act in earnest.
I don't deny it. I simply mean the game of your art, which, as you have rightly said, must provide the perfect illusion of reality.
Yes, exactly.
But consider this. We have no reality outside this illusion.
What do you mean?
Just that, ladies and gentlemen. How should we have any other reality?
What for you is an illusion to be created is for us our unique reality. Not for us alone, of course. Can you tell me who you are?
Who am I? Sir, I am I.
And if I told you that wasn't true, because you are me,
then I would tell you you are out of your mind.
you are right to laugh. Because this is a game. And you must admit that it is only in a game that that gentleman there, who is himself, must be me, who am myself. I've caught you in a trap. Don't you see?
You've said this. Why are you repeating?
I won't. I didn't intend to say that. I am inviting you all to emerge from this game. So let me ask you again, quite seriously. Who are you?
The nerves. Calls himself a character, but has the gall to ask me who I am.
A character, sir. can always ask a man who he is, because a character actually has his own life, marked by his own characteristics, by virtue of which he is always someone. Whereas a man, I'm not speaking of you now, sir, a man can be no one.
But you are asking me. And I am the director.
Only in order to know, sir. If you see yourself, for example, at a distance in time, do you see the man you once were, with all the illusions you had then?
And with everything, inside you and outside, as it seemed then, as it was then for you. Well then, sir, thinking back to all those illusions which you don't have anymore, and to all those things which no longer seem to be what at one time they were for you, don't you feel not just the boards of this stage, but the very earth beneath slipping away from you?
For will not all that you feel yourself to be now, your whole reality of today, inevitably seem an illusion tomorrow?
Now what are you trying to say?
Nothing, sir. I'm trying to make you see that if we have no reality outside of this illusion, it would be well if you should distrust your reality. For though you live it and breathe it today, it is destined, like that of yesterday, to stand revealed to you tomorrow as illusion.
Next, you'll be telling me that you and her and this play of yours are more real and truer than I am.
There can be no doubt of that, sir.
Good.
I thought you understood that from the start.
Everyone's reality changes. It happens all of the time.
Ours does not! You see, that is the difference, sir. It does not change. It cannot ever change or be otherwise because it is already fixed. It is what is just that forever.
An immutable reality, sir. A terrible thing. You should shudder to come near us.
I should like to know, however, if any of you have ever seen a character step out of his part and start expounding and explicating on it, giving lectures. I haven't seen it. Have you?
You've never seen it, sir. Because authors generally hide the travails of their creations.
When characters are alive and turn up living before their authors, all that author does is write down the words and gestures they propose to him. He has to want them to be as they themselves want to be. Woe betide him if he does not. When a character is born, he at once acquires such an independence, even of his own author, that the whole world can imagine him in innumerable situations other than those the author thought to place him in.
At times, the character acquires a meaning the author never dreamt of giving him.
Well, certainly. I know that.
Then why all this astonishment at us? Consider for a moment, sir, the situation of a character such as I have described to you. Given life, the imagination of an author who then wished to deny him life. And tell me frankly, isn't such a character, given life but left without life, isn't such a character justified? Isn't he right in doing just what we are doing now as we stand here before you? Having done the same for a very long time, believe me, before him, trying to persuade him, trying to push him. I would appear before him sometimes. Sometimes she would go to him.
Sometimes it's poor mother.
It's true, sir. I went there too, to tempt him. Many times. In the melancholy of that study of his, at the twilight hour, when he would sit, stretched out in his armchair, unable to make up his mind whether to turn on the lights, watching the evening shadows invade the room, and knowing that they were alive with us, and that we were coming to tempt him. Oh, if only you would all just go away and leave us alone. That poor mother with her girl. That little boy always by himself. I with him, and then I by myself. Yes, I by myself, alone in the shadows. Oh, my life! What scenes we went there to propose to him. I tempted him more than the others.
Right. But perhaps that was the trouble. You insisted too much. You thought you could seduce him.
Nonsense. He wanted me that way. Besides, if you ask me, he was depressed. Or he despised the theater that the public knows and wants.
Enough of this discussion. I need facts. Give me facts.
It seems to me that we've already given you more facts than you can handle. Without entrance into his house, you said you couldn't start hanging signs.
Nor can I. We have to bring the scenes together into one simultaneous, close-knit action. Now, you want this boy to come home from school and wander about the house like a ghost, hiding behind the doors. What was the word that you used?
Shrivels, sir. Shrivels him up.
Shrivels. What a word. And his growth stunted, all but the eyes.
Yes, sir. Just look at him.
Now, the boy in the house, and the girl in the garden, entered the world. Tell me, how is that possible?
Happy. In the sunshine. Yes. That is my only reward. Her pleasure in that garden. After the misery, the squalor of a horrible room where we slept, all four of us, and she with me. She would hold me so tight with her loving little arms. In the garden, she would come and run to me as soon as she saw me. She did not see the big flowers. She ran around looking for the teeny ones to show them to me. Oh, the joy of it.
Look, we'll do the garden. We'll bring all the action together in the garden, and they'll be very happy about it. Hey, bring me on a few trees. Abby, give me a bit of sky. Sky, a backdrop behind the fire. Not white. I said sky.
What do you want me to do?
Just leave it.
Daniel, cut these lights up.
Give me a bit of atmosphere. Lunar atmosphere. A blue light and a blue spot. Now, instead of hiding behind doors in the house, the boy can hide behind the trees in the garden. Another problem? This boy?
I'll have to say something.
Now, come here, come here. Stand here. And you can look out. Yeah. Now, if the girl runs up to him and says, do you think she might drag a few words out of me?
Don't expect him to speak while he's here. No? You'll have to send him away first.
Suits me. Glad to go. Nothing I want more.
No. Wait. Where are you going?
I have absolutely nothing to do here, so let me go. Just let me go.
What do you mean? You have nothing to do here.
He has to play the terrible scene in the garden with his mother.
I play nothing. I said so from the start, so let me go. Just let me go.
No, let him go. Fine. Go.
They're not locked.
He can't leave. He can't. He has to stay here. Has to. Bound by a chain indissolubly. But if I really do take flight, sir, when that happens, which has to happen, and precisely because of my hatred for him, and precisely so as never to see him again, well, if I can still stand the sight of him in his company, and if I am still here, you can imagine whether he can go. He who really must stay here, with that fine father of his, and that mother, who no longer has any other children. Come on, mother. Come on. See? She got up to hold him back. Come. You can imagine how little she wants to display her love in front of your actors. But look, she is even prepared to live her scene.
But I am not! I am not! If I cannot go, I will stay here. But I repeat, I will play nothing!
You can force him, sir.
No one can force me.
I will force you.
Wait! Wait! First, the little girl must be at the fountain. Oh, little darling. You look bewildered with those big, lovely eyes of yours. Who knows where you think we are? We're on a stage, my dear. And what is a stage? It's a place for playing and being serious. A place for play acting, where we will now play act. But seriously? For real? You too? Oh, little darling. What an ugly play you will enact. What a horrible thing has been planned for you. The garden? The fountain? All pretense, of course. But that's just the trouble, my sweet. Everything is make-believe. Perhaps for you, a make-believe fountain is nicer than a real one. It will be a game for the others. from you. Because alas, my dear, you are real. And you are actually playing in a fountain that is real and beautiful, with many bamboo plants reflecting in it and giving it shade. And your little duckling swimming on it, breaking up the shade. You want to take hold of one of the ducklings? No. No. Oh, Rosetta, your mother is not looking after you because of that beast of a son. 1,000 devils are loose in my head. And you, what are you doing standing there always looking like a beggar child? It will be your fault too if that little girl drowns. And what have you got there? Let's see. Where did you get that and how? Idiot. If I were you, I would have killed myself. I'd have killed one of those two. Or both. The father and the son.
And yet at the same time...
And at the same time, nothing. It's not true, sir. There were never any scenes between me and her.
Let her tell you herself how it was.
Yes, it is true, sir. I had gone to his room.
My room. Did you hear that? Not the garden.
That is of no importance. We have to rearrange the action. I told you that.
What do you want?
Nothing, sir. I'm just observing you. Figured I had to.
And I see they have you here to recreate World 2, eh?
Exactly. It seems to me that you should be honored by the attention that they are giving you.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
But you still haven't understood that you cannot do this drama! We are not inside you, not in the least. And your actors are looking at us from the outside. Do you think it is possible for us to live before a mirror which, not content to freeze us in the fixed image it provides of our expression, also throws back at us an unrecognizable grimace purporting to be ourselves?
That's true. That's it exactly, sir.
Very well. Go on. Get away from me.
No good. There was no scene. I went away. I went away so there would be no scene, because I have never made scenes. Never! Understand?
It's true. That's how it was. Yes.
But there has got to be a scene between you and him. It's indispensable.
As for me, sir, I am ready. If only you could find some way to have me speak to him for one moment. To have me say what's in my heart.
You will obey. You will do it for your mother. For your mother.
I will do nothing.
God, you will obey. Can't you hear her talking to you? Aren't you her son?
No, what's the problem? I'm done with it.
By God, you will obey. You will obey.
What's this frenzy that's taken hold of you? To show your shame and ours to everyone. Have you no restraint? I won't cooperate. I won't cooperate! And that is how I interpret the wishes of the man who did not choose to put us on stage.
You came here.
He came here, not me.
But aren't you here too?
It was he who chose to come here, and then got with you to decide not only what did happen, but also, as if that did not suffice, what really didn't happen.
Then tell me. Tell me what did happen. You came out of your room without saying a thing.
Without saying a thing, in order not to make a scene.
And then you...
Nothing. Crossing the garden.
Good. Crossing the garden.
Why do you want to make me say it? It is horrible.
The little girl?
Over there. In the fountain.
But she followed him, sir.
And then you...
I ran out. I started to fish her up. Suddenly I stopped. Behind those trees, I saw something that froze me. A little boy was standing there, quite still. There was madness in his eyes. He was looking at his drowned little sister in the fountain. I started to approach, and then...
No! Son! My son! Help! Good!
Come on. Is he wounded? What's going on?
He's not dead! This is just a play! It's fiction!
It must be real.
Reality is dead!
It can't be real.
Can you hear the
Reality. Reality.
What is this?
What is this? Come on. This can't be real. It's gotta be.
Okay.
Reality! To hell with you! Lights! Lights! Oh. Just go. You can all go home.
Okay.
What do we do now? Things like this don't happen. What can we do now? It's end. Lights out. Hey! Leave me one light! I need to see where I'm going!
Ha ha ha!